Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And what a beauty it was on our Friday, a mix of some very beautiful cumulus clouds out there today with a blue sky backdrop. We did see a few scattered showers, mainly mountain showers out there this afternoon, but all in all, a nice warm Friday. And speaking of warm, man, we are warming up this weekend. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny here in Wenatchee. Also, Omak, you're going to see a nice weekend. And I actually think those Saturday and Sunday temperatures for both Omak and Wenatchee will be even a little bit higher than that. And we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. Now, a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Lance Robert Bowers has been convicted in his wife's 2019 murder near Tonasket. The Wenatchee School District has refined its search for a new superintendent. And thanks to Mother Nature, Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort announced yesterday that they plan to offer skiing in the month of May for the first time in 39 years. But first, our top story tonight, a suspect who allegedly ran from sheriff's deputies near George on Wednesday has been apprehended in Oregon. 33-year-old Francisco Javier Nunez of George slipped away from Grant County deputies after allegedly biting one officer and kicking the other while they tried to arrest him on warrants. Police put out an all-points bulletin, and on Thursday, Oregon State Police troopers caught up to Nunez, whose car had run out of gas near Klamath Falls. Sheriff Tom Jones says he'll be extradited back to Grant County as soon as possible. An Okanagan County man jailed for nearly 3 years in the death of his wife was convicted yesterday of her murder. A jury found 39-year-old Lance Robert Bowers guilty of charges including first-degree murder, assault, and illegal firearm possession. In June of 2019, Bowers killed his spouse, Angela M. Bowers, and set fire to her body in the trunk of a car near Tonasket. He was later wounded by gunshots from sheriff's deputies who took him into custody. His trial took 2 weeks. His sentencing date has not been set. Bowers is now facing a possible sentence of life in prison. The Wenatchee School Board will decide next week on how to proceed with the new superintendent search. Paul Gordon will leave the district as superintendent effective June 30th for a new job in Illinois. The board wants to have an interim leader ready to start the next day, July 1st. Working with the North Central Educational Services District, their options are to hire a search firm, place an internal candidate in the office, or recruit an interim superintendent who's recently retired. The board plans to vote on which strategy to pursue during its next regular meeting on Tuesday. Well, as we head to break, thanks to the surprise April snowstorms, Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort announced yesterday that they plan to offer skiing in the month of May for the first time in 39 years. The resort had originally expected to close after a bonus final day of skiing on April 16th. But with record snowfall in mid-April, Mission Ridge said they received special permission from the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife to operate through Sunday, May 1st. The resort is on a mix of Fish and Wildlife and U.S. Forest Service land under a permit that runs through April 30th each year. Open weekends only now. The plan is to be open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. Well, when we come back, after being closed to the public since March of 2020, the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, Grant County PUD reopened its visitor centers this week. Arbor Day isn't until April 29th, but locally the celebration is being combined with Earth Day this year. We'll tell you what's happening. Hydroplane racing will be returning to Eniad in July. And Sunny Slope Elementary Math is Cool team takes second place in a statewide competition. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense, We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
It's going on 4 decades of doing business in the Wenatchee Valley. And I want people to know that it matters. It matters to me that people choose to do business with us. It matters that people trust us, trust us. That matters more than anything.
Right now is the best time to buy an RV, and the best place is Click It RV in Moses Lake.
Alright, drive a Click It RV.
Right now, Click It RV has spring discounts and deliver you unbeatable savings on travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, Class A or C motorhomes, both new and used, and more. Get the best deals and the lowest financing and the lowest price guaranteed.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
So don't miss the spring sale in Moses Lake.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you gonna be mad, bro? You probably already are.
And check out all 4 Click It RV dealerships for your best locations.
Welcome back. In another news, after being closed to the public since March of 2020, the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, Grant County PUD reopens its visitor centers this week. The Visitor Center at Wanapum Dam is currently open Monday through Friday, and on May 1st through September 30th, it will be open daily. The Wanapum Heritage Center near Priest Rivers Dam is open Thursday through Monday. Meanwhile, the Heritage Center will feature members of the Wanapum tribe demonstrating the arts of weaving, bead making, string making, and more. Well, Arbor Day isn't until April 29th, but locally the celebration is being combined with Earth Day this year. Master Gardener Bonnie Orr talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about what's in store at the Greater Wenatchee Arbor Day Association's annual plant sale Saturday.
Arbor Day has teamed up, and we are so excited about it. And we have 5 wonderful plants, and we chose plants that are drought tolerant, and that's shrubby cinquefoil, which is a potentilla. It has little yellow flowers. Everything needs to be watered for the first 2 years, okay, because they have to have the roots, but then cinquefoil, it's ground cover, holds the earth, goes along. And the other one is the red flowering currant, which has little currants. And right now the hummingbird, last week the hummingbird was on the flowers. They're beautiful red flowers.
And the pictures we're showing you, by the way, are what they're going to look like when they're fully mature and fully grown.
Because they're saplings right now. They're saplings and they're bare root, okay? They're in a plastic bag.
Okay.
In a plastic bag.
So they're not already in soil.
Nope, they're bare root.
Right.
in a plastic bag. And then we have 2 trees. Limber pine, which is just the most beautiful pine with long, long needles, beautiful long cones. And once it gets established, it can be more drought tolerant. And then we went for a crazy sugar maple. We had sugar maples a few years ago, and they just disappeared. Everybody wanted one. So we got sugar maple again. Now, sugar maple, you and I will not be able to harvest maple sugar.
We'll be long past our plant time on this earth. Okay.
Our grandchildren can.
Oh, that's good.
But it makes a beautiful tree. Northern bayberry. Now, at Christmas time, people buy berry candles that have an interesting aroma. It's made from the little white berries. It needs more moisture than some of the others, but it's beautifully green all year round, and it's a low shrub.
So you get your seedlings on Saturday in Cashmere at Martin's Marketplace, East Wenatchee at City Hall, or at the Pybus Public Market in Wenatchee. Then what do you do?
You'll be there between 9 and 2 in East Wenatchee, and be at 10 to 2 in the Pybus, and 9 to 12 in Cashmere.
You take them home, and then what? Because you don't want to plant them.
And then you're going to put them in a sunny spot, probably outside, because I think we're past freezing weather at night. But I think we want the soil to be closer to 50 before you put them in.
Hydroplane racing will be returning to Eniat in July. Mayor Mike Buckingham said it'll be the first ever vintage-only event for limited hydroplanes and raceboats in the Pacific Northwest. The races will be the weekend of July 21st, with 40 to 50 boats coming from Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, Idaho, and Canada. Buckingham said many of the boats raced in Entiat from the 1960s to the early 1990s. They'll race on an oval course at speeds between 60 and 100 miles per hour. Young mathematicians from one of Wenatchee's schools are celebrating a victory. The fourth grade math is cool team from Sunny Slope Elementary placed second out of all the schools in the Central Region during a recent state competition. The Central Region includes schools from Tonasket all the way south to the border with Oregon. Their advisors credit the win to hours of practice and dedication. The next challenge is a fourth grade online masters competition scheduled for early May. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, fruit growers around the valley have a lot to cope with after those unseasonably cold temperatures, 32 degrees and below, that started April 10th and continued through this week. That included, as you all know, a surprise 13 inches of snowfall April 14th and 15th. Tree fruit scientist Tori Schmidt has been keeping an eye on orchards throughout the Wenatchee Valley. He spoke with NCWLIFE about what this year's weather upheaval might mean for fruit growers and their crops.
In a normal year, at this time of year, these cherries would probably be done blooming, and you wouldn't see many petals left on the trees. Growers would be doing some maintenance sprays and checking on their fruit set, but as everyone's aware, this is not a normal year, so things are a little different this year. Late last week, Friday morning, we recorded 22 degrees in this location, which really damaged and in fact killed most of the cherry bloom that you see behind me right now. Apples and pears also got some damage, but not as much as cherries, which were more advanced in bloom and more susceptible to those cold temperatures. So we know cherries took the brunt of those cold temperatures. It's kind of a mixed bag from the reports I'm hearing on apples and pears at this point. Some locations fared better than others. In a lot of other locations, we just simply haven't had a chance to assess yet. Aside from the frost, which we're familiar with and have experience with, we've had a very prolonged period of very cool, blustery, wet conditions in which we've had flowers that have been open maybe for a couple weeks, but they have not advanced as they would normally in terms of their phenology. And we've got a bunch of beehives out in a lot of these orchards, and the bees haven't been flying because it's been too cold, wet, and windy. There's a lot of uncertainty. Are the flowers still going to be receptive to the pollen when the pollen gets there? Is the pollen even still viable, or is it kind of dried out or been washed away by the rain and snow? Are the bees ever going to fly? And if they do, are the pollen tubes going to grow fast enough to get to the ovaries before they senesce? And so there's a lot of uncertainty, and nobody really knows the answers at this point because nobody can recall conditions that have been like this. So there's a lot of uncertainty about fruit set right now. That flower needs to get set, get pollinated and fertilized, and then even if that happens, we're still a little unsure what the quality is going to be at the far end, because these conditions, these cold conditions and frost certainly can damage the fruit shape. It can cause marking on the fruit, and so we just won't know until we get to midsummer, and we'll have a better idea of what the quality of the crop's going to be in these cold areas.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Friday was a great one. No complaints weather-wise. And what a beautiful shot from our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera up in Okanogan County. You can see where the Methow River runs into the Columbia. Right here is Pateros, and back here, that's the town of Brewster. And a few clouds up that way. We saw some too, but nice warm temperatures today. 60 unofficially here in the Wenatchee area today. That's 4 degrees below where we should be at 64. 82, our record high. That was set back in 2012. 36 this morning, 6 degrees below 42, which is our normal low for this time of year. Our record 30 degrees, and that was set back in 2008. We did pick up another 2/100ths of an inch of moisture, so now we are just over 3 inches for the year at 3 inches and 2/100ths. 5:59 sunrise this morning, sunset 8 o'clock. We have 14 hours of daylight right now, and that's going to just increase as we get into the first day of summer. Today, we can expect, I should say tomorrow rather, as we get you into the upcoming weekend, 66 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 65 for Quincy, 64 in Wenatchee, 63 in Entiat, and 64 in Chelan. So all of us about a 5-degree warm-up from today into tomorrow. Taking a look at tonight, we can expect mostly clear skies. Here's the edge of our ridge, just up and over the Pacific Northwest. It's really blocking this big area of low pressure, and it will continue to do so through the weekend. We talked about it, warmer with mostly sunny skies tomorrow with highs in the mid-60s. How about mid to upper 60s for Sunday? Also mostly sunny, and boy, these temperatures all over eastern Washington are going to be beautiful. We could be flirting with 70 degrees even on Sunday. Tri-Cities will see it, and portions of southeastern Washington. And then as we kick off our next work week on Monday, it's going to be another nice one. Increasing clouds, though. This area of low pressure is shrinking down our area of high pressure, and that'll allow some clouds to move in. And we could see the chance for some mainly evening showers on Monday. Still mild, though, about normal with highs in the mid-60s. Getting into Tuesday, this looks to be our wettest day. Mostly cloudy skies, a 50% chance of rain. Notice our airflow coming down from the northwest now. That means cooler temperatures with highs Monday only in the mid-50s, and we're going to stay cool on Wednesday too. Mostly sunny. It will be seasonably cool, we'll call it, with highs in the upper 50s. So not terribly cool, but definitely cooler than we've seen. And guess what? Next Thursday, the Apple Blossom Festival begins, and we will begin it with mostly cloudy skies, still a little bit cool with high temperatures in the upper 50s. But I think after next weekend and our first full week of apple blossom, it's going to be beautiful. Tonight, 37 degrees, our overnight low. How about this for a weekend? 64 Saturday, 67 your high temperature on Sunday. Stay in the 60s Monday, and then cool back into the mid and upper 50s in the first part and middle of next week. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Don't miss the 2022 Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. You'll enjoy a wide variety of jazz, breathtaking lake and vineyard views, and fabulous wine. The festival features 50 shows at 14 wineries and venues over 4 days. Imagine a musical tour around the beautiful Lake Chelan Wine Valley. Grab your friends and get your tickets to the 2022 Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival, May 19th through the 22nd.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday to you. Hey, I'd hoped to be out doing some softball about now, but unfortunately not able to do that. We'll tell you more about that coming up. Mariners got off to a hot start, but then played uncharacteristically poor defense behind Marco Gonzalez. Lost to Texas last night by a final of 8-6. Seattle scored 5 runs in the first inning on a 2-run homer by Ty France, 3-run shot by J.P. Crawford, but then came 3 errors, 2 by Crawford in 1 inning. The Rangers came back to take the final game of the 3-game set.
Leadoff man reaching, here is Ty France. Smoked, absolutely crushed. Back to the wall, Ty France, home run! Wasting no time, it's 2-0 Mariners. Winker at second, Suarez at first. Clubbed, absolutely crushed to right field, back and gone, 3-run home run, J.P. Crawford checking in, his first of the season. How about a first inning 5 spot?
The 2-1, and this one popped up. Luke popped up. It's actually going to travel to meet him deep left field. Winker up with the ball. White tags. He heads to the plate. He'll score. So a sac fly by Seager. He does get the run home, and it's now a 5-3 ball game.
Don't you wish you could run like Eli White?
Runner goes from first. That one on the ground, and that's through into left field, base hit. Garver heads to third. Beasley going to wave him now. Here comes the throw. It's cut off near the bag, and the run is in. Adolis Garcia delivers an RBI double with 2 outs, and it's a 1-run game. Pitch to Solak, and that ball hit well deep out to left. It is gone! Nick Solak with a 2-run homer, and the Rangers have come all the way back to take a 6-5 lead.
First pitch to Suarez. Crack center field. Garcia plays it out. Grand Arms. Rangers coming home. Throw gets bobbled, and this game is tied.
2-2 pitch. And that one is ripped through the shift down into that right field corner. Garcia has excellent speed. He's lost his helmet and he's barreling around third. No throw offered. And the Rangers have retaken the lead in the 9th. This ball hit up the middle. That's a base hit. And it's down. Calhoun around third. He scores. RBI single by Lowe. And the Rangers open up their largest lead of the night. It's 8-6. On the ground, first base, Lowe has it. He'll go to the bag, and the Rangers complete one of the great feel-good wins of the year for this team. Much needed, and just extremely well done. 8-6 the final.
Acting manager Christopher Negron says Marco deserved much better than he got, lasting into the 5th inning with 6 strikeouts and 4 unearned runs.
Marco did a good job today. Actually, he was throwing his changeup well, controlling that well, pounding the strike zone, and kind of ran into some trouble there. It was in the 5th. Kind of a little uncharacteristic miscues on our part, so that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball. But Marco did a great job pounding the zone. No, it's early. It's it's baseball. Anything can happen. So we're still looking to put the gas pedal down, and we had, like I said, we had traffic. We were on the bases. We had opportunities to score. We just didn't come up with the big hit that we've been coming through with. He was still attacking the hitters. Cheers to him to still not letting that affect his plan on the mound. He came through an attack, and I said he threw his changeup well. So cheers to him for filling up the zone.
Ty France finished just a triple away from the cycle. Drew Steckenrider took the loss, allowing those 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. Seattle welcomes the Kansas City Royals into town tonight for the first of 3 games. A weekend series was Chris Flexen trying to earn his first victory on the mound against Brad Keller. That game tonight at 6:40 on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle Kraken are in St. Paul, Minnesota tonight, and Dallas, Texas tomorrow in NHL hockey action. Tonight's game gets underway. Well, it's underway right now. Root Sports Northwest, the place to watch it. Seattle trying to win its 4th straight. The Wild have already solidified a spot in the NHL playoffs. Tomorrow's game in Dallas against the Stars also gets underway at 5 o'clock. We'll take a look at the Les Schwab Prep Boys soccer scoreboard from yesterday. It was Grandview gunning down Ephrata 3-1. Cascade stopped Cashmere 1-0. Okanagan beat Brewster 1-0. It was Manson over Liberty Bell 2-0. Bridgeport took care of Tonasket 11-0. And Orville bettered Pateras 2-0. Coming up tonight, Eastmont goes for its 5th straight win at home against Sunnyside at 7 o'clock. Wenatchee trying to keep pace with the Wildcats atop the Big 9 standings. They're on the road at West Valley tonight at 7. Moses Lake hosts Davis at 7, while Quincy visits Kamiak at 7:30. Busy schedule for the soccer pitch tomorrow. Starts at 11 a.m. with Brewster hosting Bridgeport. Okanagan visits Liberty Bell. Tonasket welcomes Pateras. Manson visits Orville. At noon, it's Cashmere at Ephrata, while Omak hosts Colville. Then at 3 p.m., Quincy continues their road trip on the west side at Glacier Peak. Turning to the prep baseball action from yesterday, Quincy swept a doubleheader from Cashmere, winning the opener 11-8, then taking the nightcap 15-1. Ephrata also victorious in a 10-2 decision at Chelan. Today's doubleheaders already underway. Pateras hosting Bridgeport. West Valley is at Eastmont. Wenatchee visiting Moses Lake. Now, coming up tomorrow, you have doubleheaders all starting at 11 o'clock. Ephrata is at Prosser. Cascade visits Okanagan. Omak hosts Chelan. Othello's at Brewster. Manson hosts Tonasket. And Waterville-Mansfield travels to Oroville. On the Les Schwab Prep Fast Pitch softball scoreboard from yesterday, first of all, we had Ephrata scoring a total of 55 runs in 2 games in a sweep of Prosser. Cashmere swept Quincy 10-4 and 16-5. Omak took down Tonasket 9-6. Now on the schedule today, Eastmont's on the road to West Valley for 2 games starting already underway. Wenatchee also hosting a doubleheader with Moses Lake. That is happening at Walla Walla Point Park. We'd hope to broadcast today's doubleheader between the Panthers and Moses Lake, but staffing issues have crept up that will not allow us to do so. So we apologize to fans who are hoping to watch that game here this afternoon. Coming up tomorrow, Moses Lake hosts Othello at 11 in the morning, then Marysville-Pilchuck at 12. The other 11 a.m. doubleheaders have Okanagan at Cascade. Brewster's hosting Liberty Bell. Soap Lake visits Lake Roosevelt, and Bridgeport entertains Pateras. A few big track meets coming up tomorrow at various locations around the state. First of all, the big Quincy Invite tomorrow morning at 10. Brewster, Cascade, Cashmere, Chelan, Ephrata, Lake Roosevelt, Liberty Bell, Manson, Omak, Tonasket, Waterville-Mansfield, and 13 other schools, all competing at the Quincy Invites. Moses Lake will battle with 16 other schools at the Prosser Rotary Invitational. That also starts at 10 o'clock. Eastmont's in Lake Stevens for their invite at 10. Wenatchee is in Snohomish for the annual Eason Invitational. That also gets underway at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, finally, it's a week later than they'd hoped, but Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval will kick off the season this weekend with the Tommy Wentz Classic. The race will also feature the first stop for the Tri-State Challenge Series for Thunder and Hobby Cars. Classes to watch Saturday include the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, Rockstar Energy B-Mods, Plum Perfect Roadrunners, Northwest Pro 4 Trucks, and the Northwest Mini Stock Tour. Gates open at 3:40 tomorrow, qualifying at 4, racing at 5. Sounds like the weather's going to be great. Go to WVSO.com if you'd like more information. That's a look at sports news. Have a fantastic weekend. Opening of fishing tomorrow. Get out there and cast a line. We'll see you on Monday. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that is going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.